Well, hey everyone, Mac Atkinson here, and I want to thank you all for joining me as we have a little conversation today around the 2026 spring season in the wood element. This is a time to flourish with renewal, growth, expansion, and balance. You know, um, Spring is an incredible time of year, and when you consider that we're coming into spring in the wood element in this universal 1 year, and then this year of the fire horse, this can make for an incredibly powerful combination in terms of energy. You know, spring yields vision, the 1 year yields initiation, and the fire horse is all about action and visibility. So, a perfect theme for this season is courageous vision in motion. So, this again is a perfect time to not quietly, but to boldly launch. Declare, move, create, and lead. So, welcome to the spring of 2026. Hey, everybody. Just very quickly here, I'd like to kind of go through a little bit about spring and what the wood element is all about. And I know we've covered some of this in the past, so please bear with me, but this is an incredible time of year. Some of the characteristics, the color for the season is green, which is all about young growth. The direction is east. Obviously, the beginnings of every new day start in the east for us. The climate is wind, which brings change. Out with the old, in with the new. The emotion of the season is anger, which we'll talk a little bit more about in a minute. The sound is shout. The taste is sour, which is a flavor that actually nourishes the liver. The smell is rancid. The sense organ is our eyes. The fluid is the tears. The quality, of course, is growth since it's springtime. The tissues are the tendons and the ligaments, which hold us all together. And the key organs, which we've discussed in the past, are the liver and the gallbladder. You know, seasons change and we need to as well. Sounds like a song lyric somehow I've heard somewhere in the past. Elimination equals illumination. Again, this clearing out of the old to make room for the new. Nutritionally, this is a time to fast and to cleanse and to eat lighter. And we'll share a little bit more about cleansing coming up here very shortly. And to avoid toxins like fried foods, chemicals, alcohol, and drugs. Mental relaxation, being open and creating a peace of mind for ourselves, which can come a lot through like physical activities, you know, clearing and opening the body and the mind through, you know, like yoga, martial arts, various other nice, gentle practices that we can do to get ourselves physical. And I think really it's important too to explore this time of year our creative self. Who are we really inside, and where do we want to be accomplishing in these next number of months? I mentioned before the emotion of anger, and that's tied with the sound of shout. And I know that the liver is responsible, which we've talked in the past about the smooth flow of chi, which is our energy, our life energy in our body. And it's believed to be closely related to these emotions of anger, frustration, and irritability. When the liver chi is flowing smoothly, we're able to express our emotions in a healthy and appropriate way. When it's not, if it becomes stagnant and blocked, our emotions can be excessive and out of control. That can manifest in anger, shouting, and other forms of emotional expression, I should say, that are harmful to ourselves and others. And again, I love the Mark Twain quote about anger, where he said, "Anger is an acid that can do more harm to the vessel in which it is stored than to anything in which it is poured," which I think is just a perfect way to think about this. Now, we are going to talk just a little bit today about one Sunwriter product in particular. So I just want to remind everybody that none of the information presented here is intended to represent a diagnosis or cure of any illness or disease. And the product I want to bring up real quick is our premier wood element formula, Alpha 20C. Now, we've talked a lot about Alpha 20C in the past, and frankly, this is a formula that I take year round, but it does tie in very well with the springtime because it's all about the nourishment of our immune system. And it's got a lovely color green, which ties into what we just talked about. Now, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail. We'll be posting on our 5 Element Cycle to Wellness site a lot of information about this particular product, but it does contain some incredible ingredients like imparato root. This is an ingredient that's rich in minerals like potassium, which is important for the heart function and muscle contractions, silica, supporting our skin, hair, and connective tissue, and calcium for our bones and our nerve health, and magnesium, which again is for our muscles and our nerve function. Paracerb, which is rich in minerals like iron, which supports our blood cell production, calcium and potassium. Dandelion flower. Most of us are familiar with this in terms of our dandelion root, but the flower is equally special, offering liver support and a gentle detox way. It has anti-inflammatory properties, it's rich in antioxidants, and it supports healthy digestion, and it's also great for our skin. Chinese white flour is good for the muscles and the joint pain and clears wind heat and wind cold patterns in traditional Chinese medicine. Again, folks, this is an incredible formula. I use it throughout the year, but I especially kind of double down here in the season of spring. Um, there are other ways that we can help our body in terms of eating properly for the season. Leafy green vegetables, spinach, kale, collard greens, you name it. Sour foods, I mentioned sour kind of being the flavor of the season. Lemons, limes, vinegar can stimulate that liver qi we talked about. Foods high in fiber, which again helps with our digestion and promotes elimination, that getting rid of the old so we can make room for the new. Young plants and sprouts, alfalfa sprouts, pea shoots, young dandelion greens, etc. And foods with a slightly bitter taste as well, like radishes, celery, and bitter melons, can also stimulate the liver and the gallbladder to promote digestion. So again, these are just a few suggestions for you guys as you're actually doing your shopping, hopefully at local farmer markets. A couple of the things I just want to remind everybody about before we go is Dolphin Boschman, one of our Five Element team members, of course, very good one, is going to be offering her spring cleanse again this year between April 27th and May 6th. And you'll hear more from Dolphin about this in a separate call. But this is an incredible cleanse. I've been through it before. It's very gentle, it's easily guided. The community is wonderful in terms of supporting each other. And it doesn't have to be done in Saskatoon. You can do it virtually with her because she does a great job by Zoom in terms of keeping everybody involved. So if you're interested in looking at a wonderful spring cleanse, this is one I would highly recommend to you. And again, we'll be posting more about this, including this flyer here over the next few days. Kind of lastly, I just wanted to remind everybody that convention, the North American Convention for Sunrider, is coming up in June 10th through the 13th in San Diego, California, or actually on Coronado Island. It's going to be an incredible event. Early bird pricing is done now, but we can still register. And again, folks, I can't tell you how important it is to attend these conventions. These are incredible events. It's a chance not only to connect with other Sunriders from around North America, but it's a great way to go through some of the training that the company's offered, to be around, again, like-minded people, and to just kind of see what your community of Sunrider is all about. So again, please, 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 if there's any way you can come and be there in June to join us in San Diego, would love to see you all there. And lastly, I just want to let everybody know that as normally, we'll be posting a lot of information over this season on our 5 Element Cycle to Wellness private Facebook group. If you're not a member, if you aren't, and you want to join, please let us know or reach out to the person that shared this video with you, and we'll make sure that you can get on that page so you can see all the things that we're posting about. And I do want to give you a little bit of a tease because we are going to have some other really good calls for you this season. We're going to have a seasonal call about the influence on the liver and the gallbladder. We're going to have a call about the spring cleanse, as I mentioned, Dolphin Spring Cleanse, and how that impacts the body, mind, and spirit. Cheryl's going to be talking to us about spring cleaning with our home and our environment. And Tim and I are going to talk a little bit about spring, the wood element, in particular around the equinox time and the impact this has on men. So again, folks, thank you so much for joining me. Appreciate you all, and I look forward to when we can chat again on one of these next calls. Thank you. Bye-bye now.